The Power BI homepage can sometimes be a little bit confusing and cluttered and busy for end consumers or the end users of reports. It's really designed for people to be building reports and interacting with the data. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some additional options to make it easier for your end users to consume Power BI reports. Hi, this is Jason from Effective Dashboards, helping maintenance and reliability professionals get the most out of Power BI. So welcome back to another video. Okay, so when you type in app.powerbi.com here, then this is typically the home page that you're taken to. Now, this page here, the first option that strikes you is the ability to create a new report. Now, in my opinion, this page here is a kind of halfway house between Power BI Desktop, that's designed for people to create new reports and for Power BI developers, and the end users or consumers of reports, the managers, the people working in each of the different departments that are just interested in actually running the report and then interacting with perhaps the slicers and the filters and the cross-filtering. This really is designed to be a little bit of both. So it's not quite got the same functionality as Power BI Desktop, although you can create new reports here. And it's not really that straightforward and simple a user experience for people that are just interested in consuming reports, because it's got options here to browse, it's got data lake, it's got apps and metrics, we'll come back to these later. There's got a load of options along the side here. And even getting access to the reports, the recommended option here, you've got no control over what is recommended. Now you can add things like favorites and you can go to your apps, etc., but it's a little bit cluttered and a little bit busy. So I'm going to go through a few examples here of how I've made it a little bit easier for people to access reports that are at the far end of the spectrum. So these people that are just interested in accessing reports and really don't even need to go near this page here unless they really want to. Okay, so let's start off with apps, because apps are the tool that Power BI uses to package up reports into collections and to allow people to go and just access reports. So each app, if we're going to one, has got a number of different reports here. So we can see this app here, this maintenance and reliability app here, has got a couple of reports. It's got a backlog report and it's got a PM compliance report, and it can have multiple different reports in it. And these are designed to be something that somebody navigates directly to. So this would be, as an end user, they would use this link here, put it into a shortcut, and then they would just navigate directly to this app and they won't even need to go near the Power BI homepage. Okay, so that's great if you've got, if you're a maintenance professional or you work in operations, risk management, health and safety, and the apps have been used to collect or create a collection of reports around about a particular department or a particular area or division within a company. But if you are a site manager, for example, and this is a problem that I was faced with, if you're a site manager and you want to look at reliability and maintenance, you want to look at some operations, you want to understand risk, you want to look at the health and safety, and if you're injuring people and what the risks are in that area, you need to go into each one of these apps and you need to be able to then access the reports within each of those apps. So the challenge I was given was I've got some of these apps, and each one of these apps has also got, or each one of the reports within the apps have also got bookmarks that have been set up. And these bookmarks are designed to go and have conversations with various departments within maintenance and reliability or departments around HSC. So if I go in here, for example, we've got this backlog report, and if I go into here, we've got a bookmark, a personal bookmark. Now that might well be just one bookmark, or it might be a number of different bookmarks. So a bookmark is basically a means of applying some filters, multiple filters, by just clicking a button. Okay, so you set up the filters, you create a bookmark by just pressing this add personal bookmark, and then it allows you to then come back and apply those filters automatically at a click of a button. So that's really, really handy, and it speeds things up. Now, the site manager asked me, he said, are you able to get all my bookmarks in one place? Because I'm sick of going to an app, finding the report and applying the bookmark. It's a number of different clicks. So the first option that I came up with was, or his option was, to create a Word document and just copy and paste the URLs into that Word document. And I thought, well, that is a solution, but it's not a particularly elegant solution. I'm sure we can come up with something a little bit better. So the next thing, and the first option we're going to go through today, is to create a site manager's app. So I'm just going to go through the process of that and some of the pros and cons of creating a role-specific app. Okay, so I'm back in the Power BI homepage, and I'm going to go into workspaces, and we're going to create a new workspace. And I'm going to call this one Site Manager. And I'm just going to copy that and add it into the description. We're going to do that anyway. And then we're just going to apply that. Okay, so we've got an app here. Now the problem with having a role-specific app as well as a department-specific app is that you would need to publish reports to two different places. Now that can be a little bit problematic in terms of version control, and you need to remember that if you've got a report that needs to be published in the maintenance and reliability app, but also the site manager app, and potentially if we create these, it could also be in the maintenance manager app and an operations manager app, so you could end up with quite a lot of versions of the reports, which is not good at all. So what you can do is you can actually create a link to a report from within an app. So let me go in first of all, and we do need to add one actual app. So there's not an option here to go and add a link. So I'm just going to go and add in a report. So I'm going to upload it here. Okay, so I'm going to choose the production report. Now you do need to load at least one report into the workspace. Okay, so what we're doing is we're loading a report, some content into the workspace, and then we're going to go and create an app and add that content to the app along with other links. Now it's uploaded this production report here, and then we are going to delete this dashboard that gets added automatically when you upload it from a browsing for files there. And then we're going to go and create an app. Okay, and I'm just going to put Site Manager in here, and I'm just going to change this theme color to be this white color here, and then I'm going to go and add content. And the first content we're going to add is going to be this report here. So like I say, it needs to have at least one report. And then we're going to go in here and we've got the option to add a link. Okay, and we're going to call this link, we're going to do from Seke Risk Matrix. Okay, Seke Backlog Risk Matrix. Now we've got to add a link. So I'm going to go and open up Power BI, and I'm going to navigate to Apps. And the app I want is actually under this operations here. And it's going to be, rather than publish this report twice, I'm going to go into this report, and this work order risk matrix is what I'm looking for. And I'm going to go in here, and we've got this Seke backlog filter or bookmark that I'm going to add in. Okay. And once we've added that in, we just got to check up here that it has actually applied the bookmark, which it has here. And then we're going to go and copy this full URL here, because that is going to be the URL of the link. Okay, and I'll add that there. And we've got the option here to open it in a new tab, the current tab, or the content area. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. Now, I found it doesn't work if you open it in the content area for some reason, but it does work if you choose a new tab or the current tab. But I'll choose a new tab, and I'm not going to allocate it to a section. We don't have any sections there. So let's open that up. And then we're going to go to the next stage, which is add an audience. So both of these are visible, which is what we want. And then we're going to go and publish this app. Okay, so here we can see we've got our app, and the first one is going to just publish, is just going to show this production report. If we click on this next one here, it's going to open up a new tab, and then here it's going to load up the risk report, and with that bookmark selected, because we can see it's actually embedded in the URL up at the top here. Okay, and we can see this is blacked out because if we hover above here, we can see Seke backlog has been selected here, and you can just go directly to there. So let's add another one in, and this time I'm going to make it just in the current tab. So we're going to see how that works. So we're going to go back to our app. I'm going to click on this Edit App button here. Now you do need to make sure that you've got access to go and edit apps within Power BI to be able to do this. So I'm going to go into Update App. I'm going to go to Content, and we're going to go and actually find some new content here. So let's go back, and I'm going to put in the health and safety report here. Here's it here. There's a HSE app, so we'll go to there. And here's this report here. And again, this one's going to have a bookmark associated with it. So let's go in here, and we'll apply this bookmark. We'll copy the URL, and go back in here, add some content, add a link. Link name is HSC human error incidents, and then we'll paste the link in here. Okay, and this time we're going to leave this current tab, and we'll just add that in. And what we need to do is just make sure that this is in the right place. So I'll put it in here, and then we'll just update the app. And we'll just go to the app and have a look at it. Oh, I forgot to add the content. Okay, let's go back to our app. It's not showing up. So what I'd forgot to do is if I go back to edit, update app, is I forgot to actually add the content. So we can see, add the audience, sorry, we can see that by default, you can add content, you can add a link, but it's for this default audience, we need to actually enable it as well, or unhide it. So let's unpublish that, and then update it. Okay, now if I click on here, I just won't let that load. We can see it's loading the complete report within the app here. Okay, so it's actually taking you to the other app, which is probably less of isn't quite as great a user experience, because you're going to be taken out of the Site Managers app to the HSE app, and then it's going to open up this report here. So let's just go back to our Site Managers app. We're going to edit that, update app, and if we go to the content, we should be able to go in here, edit this link, and we'll just open it up in a new tab. Okay, like I say, if you go and try and open it up in the existing content area, it just didn't load for some reason. So I think it's for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to like loading a Power BI report that's published somewhere else into the content area of another app, which is fine. Okay, so we've got these here, and we can just add in additional ones if we update this app. But what that does is it means that all of the bookmarks for all of the reports that a site manager wants to access are in one area. Okay, he doesn't or she doesn't need to go and actually visit the HSE app to get that report and then apply the bookmark, or visit the production report, or visit the risk management report to get each of the different reports and then apply the bookmark each time. It's all done through the links that you've got here. Now, obviously, these links need to be kept up to date, but it's all in one place in this app, and you just click on here and it would open up each of them, and you've got the capability now to go and actually navigate between the production, the work order risk, and the HSE report. Okay, all in one place. So that's the first option we can look at. So it's building a role-specific app. You do need to publish one report there, but there's likely to be a report that is going to be more specific to a role, but then adding links to the other reports that are published to other apps, and then opening those from within the app as new tabs. Okay, so the next option we're going to explore is using a metric scorecard. Okay, so metrics, our scorecards, are a feature within Power BI that allows you to create scorecards with a list of metrics, and each metric can can be, most of the time it is, linked to an underlying specific data point within a report. So if I just go and explore this a little bit further, so if we go into metrics, and we're going to go and create a new scorecard. Now I have created a video on all about metrics, and you'll see the link in the description below. But this one here, we're going to go and just call this the site managers. Okay, so once that's done, let's go and start adding our metrics in. So a metric needs a description or a name. So we'll call this one production. Okay, it's got an owner. We won't cover that just now. It's got a target, it's got a status, it's got status dates, etc. No, we're not going to cover that at this point in time. This is purely just to be able to get us a list of the links for and the bookmarks, so a site manager can go here and see all his bookmarks in one place. So let's go into connect to data. We're going to go and search for our production report. No, we're not. It's not under recents. Let's go to all reports and search there. production. Here we go, production report. Now you can see I've actually, here's the one I'd published before to that site manager app, but I'm going to actually take it from this source here because that's the source. Okay, so what it does is it gives you a little bit of a picture of the actual report, and you can then click on a visual, and this is the current value that's going to get pulled through into the actual metric current value field. So let's go and click on connect. Okay, then we can see that's the value there. So we don't need to do any of the other stuff, so we'll save that. And then let's go and we'll add another metric in here. So we're going to go to new and then new metric, and let's do HSC, and let's go into setup, connect to data, and here's our HSC report here. Okay, now what we can see is that there's not an option here to go and select the bookmarks. So they're a feature within the app. But what we can do is we can go in here and we can select the same filters that were selected for the bookmark. Okay, so you're kind of recreating your bookmark. I think this is maybe human error. Yeah, we'll leave it for human error. And we'll just, or human, and we'll do procedural as well. I think there's procedural failure. Okay, and we can see that that has been selected there. And what we're going to do is click on the number of incidents, and we can see that it's 3. And then we can pull that back here. And that's going to be our HSC one. We'll save that. And we'll go for one more. Go for a backlog report, backlog count. And then the filters we want to apply here. So let's go for the work type as being, let's say, performance standard correctives. Let's say we're only going to be looking at maintenance. Okay, and then connect to that. Oh, and we need to call it backlog. Maintenance backlog, performance standard CM. Right, and we'll save that. Okay, now there's a few things we can do to tidy this up. If you don't want to use all of the features that are available in the metrics, so if we go up to here and go to customize and go to column settings, you can actually get rid of the things you don't want to see. So it might be you want to get rid of each one of these. We'll leave a trend in here, we'll leave the change, and we'll just apply that. Okay, so once you've set it up, if you go to read mode, and if you hover above each one of these, you can see that this is going to take you, production is going to take you straight into this production, and it's highlighted the actual visual that you drew the information from. So let's go back to another one, and just click on this little symbol here again, and let's go for HSC. And it's opening in a new tab, and you can see how this could be. We've only got 2 or 3 here, but this could be 10, or it could be 20, or it could be any number you want. Now, one of the other features you can do here is if you go back into edit mode, you can actually add in a submetric. Okay, so you might want to have production losses, or you might actually want to put in a submetric here and put in here production site alpha. Okay, so you can make a hierarchy here. Now I've not connected it to any metrics here, but you would just go in here and connect these to a data source like you did with the previous one. And a lot more of that on the in the videos below, in the course below. Okay, so once you're happy with your with the scorecard, what you do need to do is go and move it. So if we see that it's actually been created in my workspace, so only you can access this scorecard. Now, if it is only you that needs to access this, then great. But if you want to be able to share this with other people, then you need to go into File, and we're going to go to Move Scorecard, and we're going to go, and we still need to create this Site Manager app here, and we're just going to go and continue, and we're going to move it to there. Okay, so we've moved it to the workspace, the Site Manager workspace. So we'll go in here, and we'll go and open this Site Manager workspace, and we can see that, well, we've got a couple of scorecards there. We've got that untitled one. In fact, we'll get rid of that. But here's that Site Manager one. Let's go to Update App, and we'll go to Content, Add Content, and we can see they've got the option here to add in this. And we could even get rid of that production report. Now, if we wanted to, I think you can. Let's just double check that. Add. Okay, no, you need at least one actual report, so let's leave that in. Okay, and you could use this site managers. We'll just bring that up to the top there as the landing page for this app. Okay, the first page you see for this app, and we'll just unblock that, unblock that. Okay, now of course you don't need to have these other ones here, so we can just hide these, and then away we go. Okay, so here it is here, and not only do you have the actual link to the underlying report here, you've also got the value as well, which can be really, really handy. And as it builds up, you'll get a trend here each day or each week whenever there's a new value written to this report and it's refreshed, then you'll get a trend that'll start to build here. Okay, so hopefully that's give you a little bit of food for thought of how you could actually construct or make it a little bit easier for, particularly for people that are accessing reports that are stored in different apps and also use bookmarks. So to pull everything together in one place, and hopefully they won't need to use a Word document. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, then it's always appreciated if you could give it a like and a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up to date with the latest videos, then hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification whenever I publish a new video. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you in the next video.